Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another showcase video. Yes, back with yet another Larry showcase video. Today I am going to be showcasing another homebrew software, but this time relates to PS2. Now, remember how last time I was actually showcasing, what, how the Homebrew Channel for the Nintendo Wii works? Well, this time it's going to be on something new. This time we are going to be taking a look at this. Now, you may be wondering, this is just an ordinary PS2 memory card, right? Well, the major difference here is that unlike this memory card, which is what I use to save games and whatnot, this black memory card that I have over here has free McBoot on it. If you don't know what free McBoot is, I'll explain. It's basically a homebrew software that you install onto your memory card that allows you to play PS2 backups basically, and play other homebrew emulators like NES emulators, SNES emulators, stuff like that. It's a really unique piece of hardware to use. You can still save, if you guys are wondering if you can still save games on the memory card that has free McBoot on it, just so you know, don't be misled by people saying you can't, because you can save games on a memory card even if it does have free McBoot on it. It's just that, it's just that most people strictly use this exclusively for free McBoot and other homebrew softwares, and they have like another standalone memory card just so that way they can save their games. But with that said, though, we are going to take a look at this. Bear in mind, this is not a tutorial, so if you guys are looking for a tutorial, I suggest searching one up on YouTube. If you want recommendations for great tutorials, I will link them to you if you guys want to. If you guys want me to, just let me know. But other than that, we're going to take a look at this. Oh, if you're wondering where I got this memory card, I actually bought it off of eBay. So, if you guys actually do want free McBoot, I would highly suggest, if you don't know how to do it yourself on your PS2, because you can do it yourself and install it onto your own memory card, but if you don't have, the right resources to do so, you can just go online on eBay and buy a free McBoot memory card, which is exactly what I did. I actually bought this off of eBay for, $8, so it's pretty cheap. So, anyway, with that said, though, let's take a closer look at free McBoot. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are on. I already have the PS2 hooked up to my capture card. Now it's not on right now because I just want to take a moment to show a few things. Now, what I usually do here is that I'm gonna have a flash drive right here, and I also have this regular memory card, and here's the free McBoot memory card. The black memory card that I told you about. Yes, this is free McBoot on here. But first, I'm going to plug in this right now, just to give you an example of what it's like. So I'm going to boot up the system. Give me 1 second. I do heavily apologize because I actually forgot to put the tuner on. And I put it into composite. So right now we have the PS2 on right now, which is exactly what we should expect here. So right now this is what it looks like when you just boot up the PS2 normally. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in the free McBoot memory card. Remember how I told you can still save games on here? Well, here it is. Here's the free McBoot memory card. This is what it looks like. You can still put games on here if you want to. It's entirely up to you. It doesn't really matter. If you put save data on the memory card, it's not gonna screw up free McBoot for you. So don't worry. So right now you guys can clearly see that, and it says right here that it was last updated on the 5th of 2018. Well, that's because I actually ordered this memory card 4 days ago. So I guess the person who sold this to me actually put free McBoot on here before he shipped this to me. But anyways, I think that's what he did, but I'm not sure. But anyways, now that I showed that, right now the memory card is still plugged in. We're gonna make sure that this is plugged in. Now you might be wondering, which port should it be plugged into? It really doesn't matter which port you plug it into. So I'm just gonna put it into the second port. There's no disc inside the PS2. There's no disc inside of it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna boot it up. Automatically you're gonna get this screen. Free McBoot. And that's when the memory card is in there. It only works if the free McBoot memory card is in it. That's the only time it'll work. And then you'll get this menu right here. If you're wondering if it damages your PS2, no, it does not. So you don't have to worry about replacing it and whatnot. It's just it's just the software that's that the PS2 is running from the memory card. That's all. So anyway, um, this is what the menu looks like. You can actually turn off the console from here. You can still view your system information right here, and you can see that my console is the model SCPA7901, because Free McBoot does not work on the 90,000 series like the newer models of the PS2. So please keep that in mind. It does not work on those new versions. About how to navigate through this. Now, you can clearly see I can still go onto the browser. Like, I can still go on here like normal. I can still access my, my saved data. Now, this is the red memory card, the one that I have all my saved games on. Now, I can still pretty much launch up everything I want. It's all right here. So, I have absolutely no problem, going through here. You know what I mean? And I can still go onto the free boot memory card and all that stuff. So you can still navigate through your PS2 like normal. It's just that it gives you a bunch of extra, options to go through. That's all. And also, if you still want to play your games like normal, there's a launch disc option right here. But if I do click it, however, it's not going to boot up a game because there's no game in there. Instead, it's just going to go straight back to the menu all over again. That's it. Now, Launch Elf is basically a software where it'll take you through any hard drive space that's in it, any hard drive disk that's in there. It will actually allow you to have access to it. So, like, say I plug this flash drive in. If I were to do that, I could actually find any Elf programs that's on there, and I would be able to run it through here. So this is the button configurations. We don't need to worry about that. Alright, so here we go. Now you can clearly see you can access your memory card and all that stuff, your memory card data and all that stuff. Now as you can see, this is you can also browse through your memory card. As you can see, right here is this is actually my memory card. Like, this is my red memory card that you're looking at right now. You can clearly see all the saved games that I have. And in the MC1, which is actually the second port, you can clearly see the free McBoot stuff. So we already have that settled. So that's how Launch Elf works. That's basically, it basically allows you to run Elf programs. Like, say you want to update OPL, because there are some free McBoot memory cards that don't have OPL, which is strange because OPL usually comes with free McBoot anyways. But if you need an updated version, that would be a smarter way of doing it. Like, you put it on a flash drive and you use Launch Elf to install it. And speaking of OPL, is right there, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. The simple media system, on the other hand, this mode right here, you can basically play any sort of media, like music or videos and whatnot. Like, this is how you'll be able to actually, view all that stuff. You could go onto your, like I said, you could go onto your hard, you can USB, or you could use a CD, It's really up to you. But that's about it. But that's how it is. Like, you can just launch up any media file that you want that's on a hard disk drive or a flash drive, and you could just run it through there. So on the next hand, we have free McBoot configurator. Now this is where you could basically configure your settings for free McBoot and whatnot. Like, don't you see we have the buttons layout? Like, it actually shows you what the layout is right before you go into the settings. And right here you can actually view all your settings right here. And, like, if you want to save a few things to, like, a memory card or whatever, you are actually allowed to do so. So it basically, allows you to set up free McBoot however you want to. Like, you could save it even onto multiple memory cards. Like, you can actually put free McBoot on multiple memory cards if you want to, actually, just in case, you lose that one. But that's just, that's just it. In any case, let's move on to the main event. OPL. Now this is where free McBoot is used all the time. Almost everybody who uses free McBoot uses OPL. This is the most popular one. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to plug this flash drive into the USB port of my PlayStation 2. If you're wondering what model I have, like I said, this is the Slim, in case you were wondering. But anyway, that's not relevant. So, if you want to actually use your USB device, make sure you go on to USB start mode and whatnot. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm not, like I said. I know I said that this is not a tutorial, because this is not a tutorial on how to do it. This is just me showcasing how it works. But I thought I'd throw this out to you for those who are actually having trouble trying to figure out how to launch up their USB devices on OPL. So right after you use manual, that's when you'll want to hit OK, pretty much. And you want to make sure you press save the changes as well, so that way your settings are changed. Now, you don't have to do this every single time you boot up OPL, because every single time you boot up OPL, OPL already knows your settings. So you could literally just press the circle button to go straight to the game list. So we're going to hit circle, and now you can clearly see nothing is there, because you have to press X to make sure that it could detect the games. Now, what happens is that when you press X, like I just did just now, it will actually detect all the games that you have on your flash drive, and these are the games that are on my flash drive. We got Bloody Roar 3, Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3, the original Half-Life, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes. So these are some really good examples. Now, just to show you how it works, I will actually boot up one game as an example. These are also your settings, like these are your customized settings, like just in case you want to, this is just in case you want to, change any of the settings on how the game should run and whatnot. You don't have to have this on. I just turned it on my own, but most of the time you don't really need to mess with the settings anyways, because everything runs the way it's supposed to. So anyways, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to hit X, we're going to click run, and I'm going to run Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, since that's pretty much like a very popular PS2 game, especially amongst Dragon Ball fans. I know this type of I know putting Dragon Ball content should be on my King Cole 78 channel, but this is a showcase channel video, so... Now, the loading times are actually a bit slow. Like, they're not way too slow, but they do take a while. Right now, the game is booting up. So you just gotta give it, like, a few minutes. Or a few seconds in this case. And there you go. The game boots up just like the way it's supposed to. And you can clearly see I can actually go through this. Like I said, just be aware of the loading times, especially on the Dragon Ball Z games. On the Dragon Ball Z games, it can be quite slow. And not only that, but when you play the intro, you can clearly see that it lags a little bit. That's because I believe that's because the PS2 does not read flash drives as much. It does not read flash drives as fast as the Nintendo Wii does. But of course the Wii is way advanced, so. So here we go. We got Budokai Tenkaichi 3. You can actually, like I said, you can create a new save file on your memory card, because like I said, it detects the slot 1, but we're not going to do that right now. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to start up a quick game for you guys, just to show you exactly how it works. And you'll see that when I click on the menus to go somewhere, you can clearly see this small time it took a while for me to get here. Because I have to reiterate, the loading times are a little bit slow, so just be mindful of that, okay? In fact, when I ever do Let's Plays of this, I might have to do a lot of splitting, because, like I said, the loading times can be a pain. But in any case, I'm just going to start a little quick game. I'm going to use, actually, yeah, Vegeta Scouter is one of my top guys, but, yeah, I'll just put him in there. So I'm just going to do a random match, pretty much. And you'll see that, going through the menus can sometimes look a little bit slow. Like, it looks like it's getting a little bit choppy. That's because, like I said, it's because the game is trying to read off the flash drive. But the PS2 does not read games off of, flash drives as easily. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put this game, I'm going to actually put this on random right here. So I'm gonna load up Planet Namek. Now I'm gonna actually record this in real time just to show you how long the loading time is. Right now I'm actually rapidly tapping buttons because you already know the Dragon Ball Z game's loading screen Easter eggs. Don't you see how many push-ups I just made Vegeta do just now? That's how long the loading time is. It lasts for like 10 to 15 seconds, I believe. See how long that was? It doesn't feel like an eternity, but it does feel like it's loading, you know, longer than it should be. And you can clearly see the audio is just fine, and the gameplay is just fine, as you can see. Now, bear in mind, I never actually played Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on PS2 before, because the one that I've actually played was actually the one on Nintendo Wii, the one that I play on my King Cole 78 channel. But this is how the game is. I figure, you know, I give a little small mash just to show you guys, you know, how it actually works. I know this video is going to take a while for me to actually render, but it'll be worth it because I actually enjoy doing videos like this. And honestly, these are the type of videos that I know a lot of you love. But you can clearly see that the graphics, once again, they look great, and not only that, but the game also plays like it's supposed to, because in fact, some people actually say that it tends to actually play better than how it would on a disc actually, but that's debatable. I honestly don't even have a theory on that. I don't have any opinions on it. But there you go. That's some gameplay of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on PS2. I'll actually make let's plays of this game. I'm actually gonna do the story mode on here. That's my plan. But like I said, I want you guys to just be patient with everything. Sorry if this video went on for way too long, because I did notice that it's going on for a really long time. But honestly, there was a lot more to talk about with Free McBoot than there was with the Homebrew Channel. So I hope you guys did enjoy this showcase video. And if you guys did, be sure to subscribe for more videos from the Shiz Network. And until then, peace out and deuces. Beyond the infinite, as always, think for yourself.